up YouTube? It's your boy Junior, aka Semi, and welcome to Semi 2 Tech, the channel that brings you everything from product reviews, tech reviews, app reviews, all the way to live streaming and live gaming and everything else in between. So if you like all that stuff and more, then stay tuned to this channel. And before we get started with this great new video, if you haven't done so already, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and once the subscribe button's been pressed, click on the bell next to it and select all, so you get all notifications every time I drop a new video or go live. Also, don't forget to hit that like button right here, and also share the video to all your social media platforms so nobody ever misses a thing from us. And also, guys, remember I do have a website you can check out. Come over here, go to semi2.tech, and it'll bring you right here to this page. Look at this great layout of web page just for you guys. You can do so much stuff here. Come and check it out. Alright guys, thanks for coming back. I do appreciate all the love and support you guys show the channel. Remember, when I continue supporting the channel, all you gotta do is like all my videos, share my videos, comment all my videos, and if you still haven't done so, hit the subscribe button and enable bell notifications so you get notified every time I drop great videos like this one or whenever I go live. And trust me guys, you never ever want to miss a thing. Alright, so today guys, it'll be a great video. As I told you before, and I've been telling you guys for a while, and have you seen the description of the video, I am doing another PC build today. It's gonna be my ITX form factor build. It's a great build that I wanted to do for a while now. I finally got all the components I need, at least to start it up. I'm probably gonna upgrade some of the components later down the road, but as of right now, this is all I'm gonna really need for now. Why am I building one? I wanted to build an ITX build for a while since it's very small, and I want to see if I want to use it as a secondary PC. Actually, not a secondary PC, but I want to use it as a streaming PC. If you're not into the online streaming gaming, it's a little hard to tell because there's some people online that make a PC just to stream content on, and their main PC is their gaming PC, which is the powerful one. And what they do is they take the main PC connected to the streaming PC, so it streams into the main PC, to the streaming PC, and then from there you can just use all the software you need to stream it online, instead of taking the resources out of your main PC and gaming on the same PC. Because sometimes, depending on the game, sometimes you can sacrifice some of your streaming software so you can play your game. It's very hard, because one of the games I ran into before I upgraded my main PC up, I was Call of Duty Cold Wars. It was Call of Duty Black Ops, the one before Cold Wars. I was streaming online, and then every time I stream it end game, it would start glitching a lot, guys. It was like I would lose frames. It was a whole heck mess. And I'm like, so what I had to do to get around that is I had to lower the specs on the game itself so I could able to stream and play at the same time, which was a pain in the butt. And then come to find out, a lot of these top gamers actually have two PCs when they're streaming. One for streaming itself, and the second one is the main PC for all the gaming stuff. So I'm like, wow, I didn't even know that. So when I saw that, and then I wanted to build a small PC ITX build, I decided let me not do this. All right, so I finally got all the components. Some of them are reused components from my old builds the main components are new components. Like the motherboard's a brand new component, I got it. But the first thing you have to get when you're building a PC is the case. And what case did I get? If you guys remember the case that I did on my main PC, I did the dark flash because it's just the way it was designed. I got another dark flash one, but this one I found it online, and it's meant for ITX builds, and it's wonderful. And it's called the Dark Flash DLH21. So instead of being long this way, it's actually a tower straight out. So this is the thing. I got it in black. It comes in 4 different colors: black, white, neon mint, and pink. I didn't want pink or neon mint. I didn't want white anymore. I wanted black. So I got the black one. All right, and this is perfect for what I needed. So let's open it up and see what it looks like, so you guys can see what it looks like, because this is the first time I'm opening it up. I saw it online, I liked it. It comes with the owner manual here, so you could go ahead and need it if you need it. It says you have to open it and close it. All right, and there we go. This is the, I didn't want to drop it. All right, so I don't think there's anything else in here. If anything, I'll go into it next. But right here, let me go ahead and lower the camera. All right, so we lower the camera now, guys. Just want to make sure you have a full view. I left it high, a little high too much. So all right, so this is the case. Pretty cool case. It's very simple, as you can see. And I use this very sleek, so there's no wires that come out of anywhere. The only wires where it come out from will be right in here, just like my other dark flash case. Comes out right here, all the wires go up, and it comes out here when you need, whatever you need. So it'll be my HDMI cable, and I think the power is not, no, yeah, and the power one's up here and everything. Everything's put in here, so I don't have to worry about running wires anywhere else. And it's basically a stand right here. That's all it is right here. And all you get for actually components of the device is, like I said, the outlet here. And on top right here will be your power cable, 2 USB ports, USB-C, and 3.5mm headphone jack right there, which is awesome. All right, so let's go open this case up. This is the top case. It's all magnetic, so that's a good thing. And here is where you put your ports and everything. Right here be the graphics card, right down here. Over here be all your ports, and here is a plug for your power supply. Normally when you have the power supply, it'll be right next to the port, but they made an extension from up here to down here, because down here is the power supply. So instead of running a power supply up here, it may have less room. They just ran the wire down and it made an extension up here, so all you have to do is plug it in, which is pretty cool. I like that. All right, so this opens up more, and then up here you have the screws to take all the sides off. So let me go and open it up real quick, because you have to take off all 4 sides whenever you're actually building one of these cases. I'm gonna go open this up real quick, because there's a lot of bolts in here. So you slide out, slide out. All right, so I just wanted to take these 2 parts out first. So as you see, let me bring it up closer to you guys so you guys can see exactly what I'm working with here. So here's the case, see? So the motherboard will go right up back here, right here. As you see, it's a small little area. And then the graphics card will go right here. We'll put it up here. Power supply will go back here. And like I mentioned before, it comes with all the wires. See the extension wire right here? This is why you got this here. All right, and then you put in your hard drives here, your SSD hard drive or your 3.5mm hard drives right here. Pretty much that's it, guys. You start putting it together and you'll be all set. Simple as that. So let's go and see what else I got in here. I just wanted to open it up real quick there. All right, so we got the casing. You see how the casing looks? Pretty nice. Now, I mentioned a power supply. So you can't put a regular power supply in here like from a regular PC. This takes a form factor SFX power supply. A regular power supply is an ATX. They're thicker. I had to buy this one right here. This is from Aries Games. It is meant for this case. It's a SFX power supply. This one was actually pretty cheap. I didn't want to spend too much money on a power supply, so I went a little budget. If this doesn't last me long, then I'll go ahead and replace it. But I don't know if you can tell the difference, but I'm gonna bring it out for you guys to see. This is actually smaller than normal power supplies. They're actually this one's thinner compared to the other ones. Are about maybe that thick. So this is meant for this box here. It comes with all the wires right here. Not much to it. Very simple. I'm gonna put that to the side and I'll install it later. And it comes with all these power cables when you need it, which I'm gonna need this one. But it comes with all these SATA cables when you need it for the power to devices in there. But it's all right, we're gonna leave that out. So that's my power supply. Now the main component on this PC build will be the motherboard. I did get the MSI H510i Pro Wi-Fi motherboard. This is a great motherboard. It takes a 1200 LGA socket for a CPU. It gives only one express PCI card slot for your graphics card, so that's good. It does come with Ethernet cable for only 2.5 gigs though, instead of the 5 gigs. It's alright. Comes with a built-in Bluetooth and built-in Wi-Fi, which is a big plus, especially for a build like this. That's why this is very important to have this kind of motherboard, because it has a Bluetooth and Wi-Fi on this, so you don't have to have any wires connected to it unless you really want to. It only comes with 2 slots for RAM, which is the maximum support of 64 gigs. What I'm gonna do is only gonna put 32, because I took 32 on this one. I had 64 gigs, 4 16 sticks, but I'm gonna put 2 16 sticks here now until I buy 2 32s and put them in here. And then I'm gonna take the 16 back from here and put it back on this PC. It's a temporary solution for now. I didn't want to spend, like I said, I didn't want to spend too much money on a build. So for now, this is what I'm gonna do. All right. And of course, this is MSI. All my motherboards, all 3 of my motherboards are MSI. So that's why I stuck with it. It's been a good board for me. So I'm gonna come with this. It does have a built-in video display port, so I can hook up an HDMI directly to it. I don't have to have a graphics card if I want to go that route, but it's always recommended that you have an independent graphics card when you're using a PC. It frees up the space on your PC, better usage, all right, especially if you're gaming. This is gonna be for light gaming, not no heavy gaming like Call of Duty, but like, let's say if I was into Fortnite, this will play it with no issues at all. All right, on the back of the board, it has 4 regular USB-A ports and 2 USB-A 3.0 ports. So cool. Like I said, it has a 2.5 gigahertz network cable. It has in audio source and the Wi-Fi chips in here. And pretty much that's it. Let me open it up real quick and show you. And as you can see, it's a small board. All right, so let me go ahead and bring this up to you guys so you guys can see it. All right, so this is it right here. Very simple. I'm gonna open it up now. And boom, very simple, guys. Look at this. This is a very simple board. Not much to it, not to worry about it too much. Like I said, it has 2 RAM stick ports here. It has 2 setup cables here. And this is where the hard drive goes, the M.2 chip there, and this is where the CPU goes. It takes a 1200 LGA socket, and like I mentioned in the back here, you have all your ports. You got your audio ports here, your Wi-Fi antennas, your Ethernet jack, the 3.0 USB-A ports, and you got 1 2 3 4 USB-A regular 2.0 ports, and then you got a HDMI and DB port on board if you really want to use it. I don't recommend, the only time I would recommend this one right here, the DB port or the HDMI, if you're going to use this for VR gaming. That's the only time I ever recommend this. Other than that, I won't recommend it. But there you go, you got that there. Pretty much that's it with the port. Not much to it. We're gonna go ahead and put this down there. All right, and as you see, I did mention the RAM, and like I said, I took it out of this PC, and this one's still running up, but now it's running, instead of running 64 gigs, it's running 32 gigs, which people even said 16 or higher is perfect. You don't need more than 16 according to some people. Me, I do a lot of multitasking, so my main PC needs more than that. If you're using it for gaming, 16 to 32 is just fine. So I'm gonna be putting 32s. My 2 32 sticks here, or 16 and 16. I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna put it on the motherboard now, so I have that in there, so I don't lose it. Let me open this up here. And do the same thing over here. Boom, so now my sticks are in here. And I picked this one out of all the sticks because these are black sticks, so it's all color coded to black, so that's good. And then, and I did mention the CPU, guys. And what CPU did I get? I got a refurbished one from Upgrade Kings. This was half the price. That's the only reason I bought it, because half the price of what it is. This is an i7 10700 8-core CPU running on 5.1 gigahertz. That's not overclocking it. That's regular clock 5.1, which is awesome. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna install this right now on my motherboard so I don't lose it or anything. All right, so I'm gonna open up the motherboard tray here. All right, and you guys know how to put the motherboard chips in. Just make sure you line up the two arrows with each other, which is this one right here. And I just gotta find the arrow on my motherboard itself, which is on this side here. And I don't know about you guys, but I prefer Intel chips over AMD, because it's just, the only difference really is that I've noticed is the way the CPU sits. For me, it's easier to put them on a Intel than it is with the AMD, because AMD, the chips itself, that the pins go from the CPU. On an Intel, the pins are on the motherboard itself. So as you see, the CPU is in right now. It's all good in there, look all pretty, very nice. All right, so we got that there. So now we have the CPU, the RAM put in there. Those are the main components of the board. Now, I talked about hard drive space. I did get a Crucial hard drive, M.2. I got a 512 gig, or 500 gigs to put it 512 hard drive, because I don't need that much space for this. And there's the M.2. Take it from here. All right, so here's the hard drive, which is 512. All right, so I'm gonna open it up and put it in the system itself now. Here it is, M.2, and this only takes one. So, and because I don't care if it's such a small one, because it's only 512, but I'm gonna put an external hard drive on the outside when I get a chance, and then put it. This is just for my regular hard drive operating system and some software on there. I'm not gonna put everything I have on my main PC on here, so that's a good thing. Okay, so got that here. So now we're gonna open it up and put it on here. Simple as that. This one's a little weird. Okay, that was a little weird. All right, so the hard drive slot thing covered the shield, the heat shield for the hard drive moved a little bit, and it got me confused for a bit, but it's okay. So we're gonna go ahead and stick this thing in here. And now I'm gonna put it down right here, but with the heat shield on it. And put the board down, makes it easier for me to do work on it. This is being very difficult with me today. Okay, there you go. All right, so this was a little different from what I'm used to putting in, so that's why giving me problems at first, but I got it all squared away. Just gonna put in everything back down. I don't know if this hard drive is empty or has stuff in there. Pretty sure it's empty. I mean, it has stuff in there. All right. Oh no, it's empty. This was a new one, yeah. All right, so I got the hard drive, CPU, and the RAM installed, all in this little tiny ass case. So what I'm gonna do next is actually put the motherboard inside the case. All right, so before we put this, I did want to tell you the other parts that I'm gonna be putting in the system before I forget. I talked about the power supply, talked about the case, of course. The motherboard I went over with the hard drive, the RAM. So we went over all that. All right, so I'm gonna move these components to the side here. All right, the next thing I want to talk about is actually coolant. This can take two types of coolant. You can take the regular coolant that you put right over the CPU and it's a fan with a heat sink, that's it. I'm gonna do an all-in-one water cool. Remember that I bought the NZXT Kraken for my main PC, and then I put the Corsair one from that one on this PC right here. So I still had the coolant from this PC, which was some Bubble brand coolant. It worked very well. I've had it for years. I bought it because it was cheap. So that's what I'm gonna use to put it in here. And this is the coolant right here. It is a little dirty, but this is the coolant. And this will take either 122 radiator coolant or a 240 radiator coolant. This is a 240. I'm gonna put that in here. I got the coolant there. And I got the two fans over here, which are the Corsair fans, regular black ones with no RGB, you know, very simple. Why? Because you're not gonna be able to see any color in here. You might be able to see color in the front if you want to. If I did put fans, I could have color in the fans and might do that later on down the road, but as of right now, I don't need it, so I don't want it. So we're gonna keep it all nice and clean and sleek. Very simple like that. And for my graphics, you guys know I put the 3080 Ti on my main board, on my main PC, and then I put the 3080 in my second PC. So what did I have in here? If you guys remember, I had a 1070. That's what's gonna go in here. Because it's so small, I'm gonna put a 1070 in here until I'm able to find a 3060 Ti to put in here. Just because I don't want a big card. I could put a full-size 3080 in here if I wanted to. It'll fit, it'll just fit. But I want to keep it pretty simple, so I want to go with a 3060, even a possible 3070. I think the 3070s are a little bit bigger than this one. But I want to either do one of those two and put it in here. I don't want to go any bigger because this is just going to be a light gaming everyday PC or even just a streaming PC, and this is good enough. I definitely going to use this for VR. This was my graphics card when I did VR. That's the main reason I got this graphics card so low, because it was a VR graphics card. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna use that. Perfect. So that's what I'm gonna put in here. So now, before I put all that other stuff in here, I'm gonna go ahead and put the motherboard in the board here. And of course, I gotta remember to put the shield for the hole over here on here first, because I always forget to put that in there first. And then I'm like, oh man, I gotta disconnect everything all over again. So I gotta make sure that I'm gonna put everything correctly here. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this flat part in here first, so I just don't forget. That's the only reason why I'm doing this now, because I always forget to put that in there every time I put these boards in on any PC. All right, and it also lets you guide how the motherboard goes, so that's a good thing too. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this. All right, guys. So now since I have all this open up, I told you I was gonna put the motherboard in first, because that's gonna be the hardest thing to put in before I start connecting everything else, putting my IOU, my GPU, and all that good stuff. I'm gonna have to do this first. So I'm gonna flip it over to the side, and right here, this is the bracket right here. I'm gonna bring it. See this bracket right here? There's two brackets right here. That's for the coolant. So I'm gonna take that off. Because you want to hook it up, the coolant, radiator coolant on there first, and then you can hook up everything else. So it makes it easier, especially when I want to go ahead and get this all plugged in and everything, makes it easier. I mean, especially with the motherboard, makes it easier for me to get access to it and instead of trying to fight with this. So put this to the side over there, and I'm gonna move all the wires because I'm not gonna worry about the wires right now. Wires, I'm gonna worry about it later. So now I gotta line up the motherboard with the screw points here and make sure I have in the same spot on this side. And it looks like it's all fitting in perfectly. Gotta make sure that I got everything correct there. Okay, oh, so that back plate came off. That's all right, because that thing is trying to. Let me take the motherboard out again. See, as you see, the back plate fell out. Back plate is a pain in the butt. I hate these back plates. All right, so now I'm good there. Should be good there. There you go. Now it fits better. Okay. Whew. That didn't fit so good when I first put it on. Okay. Now I'm gonna get the screws for the motherboard here. Make sure I get the right ones. And screw down the motherboard. And I'm only used to putting in like 9 screws. Like I'm used to putting in 9 screws for the motherboard, but I think this only takes 4, maybe 5. I'm not too sure. But like from the points I saw on the PC casing, it looks like there's only 4. So, but that's okay. If it's only 4, it is what it is, guys. As long as we get this in here and it's nice and clean, we're good to go. And you guys might be asking why I didn't go with a 120 radiator, since it's a smaller radiator in a small case. All right, because the airflow on here actually is not the best airflow, and I read that. But since this is not going to be a powerful PC, I don't need that much airflow, and so I want to make sure the CPU stays cool even though the airflow is not that great. And I went ahead went with the 240 instead of the 120. Simple. That's the main reason. There's no other reason besides that. And I think that's it with the. I'm just double checking the radiator, make sure there's nothing else in there. All right, and that's it. So now you see my motherboard's in there. We're good there. All right, and let's see what else I need to hook up here. I know I'm gonna have to hook up I'm gonna do the power supply next. This is the power supply here, and should be the one that fits in here. And it isn't. They sent me the wrong power supply. How did I know they're gonna send me the wrong one? So this power supply does not work. So this has to go back. I knew they sent me the wrong power supply. So, well, I'm gonna put everything else in here just to make life easier. And so when the power supply comes, it's not gonna take me as long to do it. So now, since I got my my graphics card right here, I'm gonna do the graphics card real quick and get that done. So this is the only thing I'm gonna be entering in here is the graphics card. So, but this is the reason why I wanted to do this, because I knew I was gonna run into some issues. And I specifically asked for the SFX. when I open it up, because I should have opened it before I even started this video. But the thing is, I wanted you to guys see it's all together, all as one. So there's gonna be a multiple part video. It's gonna be one video, but it's gonna be in different days. All right, so I'm gonna put my graphics card in. Okay, the graphics card went in perfectly good. Looks like everything runs smooth there. It's a little tight in there, but all right, and I got the other one here. Okay, so my graphics card's in. So now I can't put the power supply in. So, because I know what I got to do next is put the power supply should have been next. But since I can't put the power supply in because they sent me the wrong one, what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna put the coolant on here, but not attach to the CPU, because if I attach to the CPU, and then I'm gonna have to retake this out anyway again. And then I'm gonna have to go through all this. So I'm just gonna attach the radiator on here and then put that back on here. And then once that's here, I'm gonna close everything up for now and then work on it again when I get the power supply, which will be on the next video. We'll be on the same video on this one, but just another day. So let me go ahead and get my power supply real quick. So like I mentioned, radiator right here. So I'm gonna have to put this here on the block, which looks good. Oh, I was putting it in the wrong way. Think I was like, why is it not fitting perfectly? And I know why. So I'm gonna put this here, like here. And then put the last one on here. All right, so as you see, there goes my radiator with the bracket. So basically, all I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna take these thing out here. And basically, I'm gonna put this here like this. And I also gotta put the bolts for the radiator. You know what, let me do that real quick. Put the radiator on here real quick. Okay. And I put the wrong bolts on there. It's all right. Put this down. Perfect. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead, close this up here. So I want to put this all together so it doesn't get lost or anything. All right. The radiator bolts, I put them on the bracket radiator bolts. I put them on the radiator, but it's alright. They're the same bolts as the bracket, so it's not a big deal. So I'm not worried about this. There's one less step to do. All right, one more bolt here, because it's all plug and play here, so it's actually worked good. All right, guys, so don't mind the wires. So basically, this is all in here. You see the CPU coolers right here. That goes on the CPU itself. And then I put everything else in. Again, can't put this on the on the power supply because they sent me the wrong power supply. So we're gonna go ahead and come back when I get the new power supply. So just give me a couple days and I'll get the power supply. All right, guys, so we're finally back. It's been about 2 weeks since the last video you just saw, like the before the cut. I ran into issues with the power supply. Like I showed you the last time, I ordered the wrong power supply. They gave me the wrong one, so I had to return that one. I ordered another one. I ordered an EVGA 650 power supply. They shipped it, but I guess FedEx shipped it to the wrong house. And then when I tried to dispute it, like I never received it, eBay said it shows deliver, it's my fault, I lost the case. So I lost out $100 in that. But luckily I was able to find another power supply. It was a refurbished power supply by EVGA, but this one's 550 instead of 650, which I don't need such a big power supply for this small build. So the 550 is just fine. I actually was able to get this for $45, $50, something like that. I got it pretty cheap. So I did lose about $100, but I had to spend another $50 for this. So that's why it took me so long. Like I said, 2 weeks. I had to wait. I literally just got this in about 20 minutes ago from the time I'm recording this video. So that's why I'm gonna open it up now and take out the power supply. All right. I opened the box, but I didn't take it out yet. So basically, this is the power supplies. As you see how small it is. It's a very, very small. Let me bring it up to you guys so you guys can see what I'm talking about. But let me go ahead and bring it up. Look how small this thing is. This thing is, look, compares it to my hand. How small this power supply is. That's why it fits this bill right here. It's so small. That's why it's meant for that. That's why it's that small. Corsair sells one too, but they're a little pricey, so I didn't want to get the Corsair one. So it comes with that power supply, and it comes with all the wires needed in here. As you see, oh, they just all fell out. So all the wires right here that I need for it. So I'm all set. So now I'm gonna put this box down and I'm gonna go ahead and install this power supply so you guys can see. All right, so let's go ahead and open this bad boy up again. I don't think I need to take out the whole thing again. I'm just gonna take out the back case first. Well, I mean the back plate, not face, plate. All right, so I'm gonna take this one out. And I could use a hand, but it's just easier with the screwdriver because it'll be faster. All right, so the power supply is on this side, so that's good. So I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take out this plate here. Gotta take out more. All right, there we go. And you want to see how simple this is? Basically, all I have to do is put this right in here. Put this wire here and stick this in here. That's all I have to do, guys. So I don't know if you guys can see it. I'm gonna bring it up a little bit more. So this is the power supply. Basically, this is it right here, like I showed you. And basically, I just slide it in here, and that's it. And I gotta put the 2 screws here. Yeah, 4. This one has 4. So I put the 4 screws in, and then plug this part in, because remember, this is the extension because the power supply comes out from the top here. So I'm gonna put this back down so I don't have to drop it or anything. I'm gonna plug it in. Make sure I got everything correctly in here. Actually, let me go ahead and screw this in first before I forget. Hopefully I got screws with this power supply, or I'm gonna have to find some screws. Oh, yep, I got screws right here. So that's a good thing. The good thing I got the power supply there with the screws. So I still gotta open up the other side because I still gotta plug that in. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this power supply first here. All right, here we go. All right, got the first screw in. So once the first screw is in, the rest should be easier because it's easier to connect. All right. Perfect. This is going on smooth like butter. I don't know why I said butter, but okay. It works. All right, then. So that works for me. Plug this in here. All 4 screws are in now. Let me tighten the last screw up. All right, and then I don't know why they made this so difficult here, but it's okay. They should have turned the wire around, but that's okay. I'm gonna leave it like this. Perfect. So now, what I gotta do is get the 24 pin plug that in, and then plug it into the power supply, which all the plugs comes on this side here. So, but I still gotta take off this side here because I gotta take out the cooling so I can get to the motherboard. The ports of the motherboard. Makes it easier if I do it this way. All right, so let's go and do this. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and plug in my power to my GPU and plug that in first just to make it easier for myself. I'm gonna do this one at a time because I don't want to mess anything up. There you go. I had to run it upside down. I don't know why, but it's all good. And then I gotta do one of these for the static. Not this one. This is the old connections. This is exactly what I need here. Rip this apart. I thought it'd be easier if I did that, but it wasn't. Alright, so I'm gonna plug this in because I got some RGB lights that go on the bottom that I'm just gonna plug in here. Make life a little bit easier. Plug this one in first. Alright, got that part in there. If I want to connect some extra hard drives, I got the ports, the power ports there, so we're good there. And I am missing a cable. Alright, where is the other cable? Should be one more cable. I think it's in here. Yep, it's in here. There we go. There's the cable there, and then it does come with the power cord. So that's a good thing. I didn't know if it was gonna come with one or not, but it does come with it, so that's good. I'm gonna go ahead and connect this one. This is for the CPU ports. All right. right, so this plugs into directly to the power supply here. These plugs are so weird. Let me do the bottom one first. The bottom one should be easier to do. Alright, and then I'm gonna do the top one here. Boom. And luckily it's only one plug for this, so that's good. So now, this is the part that I have to remove the cooling system. The only thing I have to do is remove this just so I can plug in the CPU plug. That's it, that 24 pin one that goes on the bottom. That's all I have to do. So I'm gonna bring this around here. And then once that comes around here, I'll make my way here and plug it in. And that's simple. Simple as plug and play, guys. I think I might have it upside down, yeah. Alright. Yep, there you go. Now, my power supply is, my plugs are plugged in there. And now I just gotta screw it, put the cooling sensor back in. And now I just gotta make sure I squeeze all the screws in properly so they don't get loose by any chance. Once they're in here, they don't get loose. It's easy, so that's good. Alright, just make sure these top ones are tying. This one was still loose on this end. Perfect now. Alright. It says I can fit a 3.5-inch hard drive in here, which I'm planning on to because I can get a big one on there for a reasonable price. But it doesn't look like it has much room. But hey, it says it can, so I'm gonna leave it like that. Now, all I gotta do now is connect the power to the CPU power that plugs in on the top right, which is right here, so that's a good thing. So let me take this cable out. Comes with this dedicated cable, so it's not all in one cable, so that's a good thing. I like that. Alright, I'm gonna put this on here like this. Plug this in here. And then I gotta run down to the GPU. Let me use this one better, just to make it easier. Alright. Now I'm gonna run the cable out here. Let me see. And run it to the back. To the CPU port in the back. Which I have no idea what port it is. Alright, I gotta take the motherboard port out first. Alright, now see, it's right behind the motherboard port. So now I gotta go ahead and put this in here. This is gonna be a little tough, but it'll get done. It's just because it's so dark in here, so it's hard to see what I like. Why is it coming out? I don't know why it's not letting me put it in. Maybe I gotta reverse the cable, but let me reverse the cable. Because maybe it's the other way how the cable goes. And I should run it back here instead of in the front there. Might be easier if I run it this way. Yeah, it'll be easier this way. Oh yeah, So much easier. I would just try to make it cleaner inside, but in this case I don't need to, but it's okay. Alright. This makes it so much easier. I should have done this in the first place like this. I don't think sometimes. It's all good. Alright. Plug in my CPU in here. Boom, done. Plug in my motherboard again. Since I disconnected there. So now everything's connected, guys. All I have to do is connect the power cable here, and that's it. Let's put it all back together so it can look good again. Put all this down here again because I don't need it. All right. I don't need this cable. I could leave it in the box if I want. All right. So to put the side pieces on, I'm gonna put this side on first. I'm gonna do it with the screwdriver. It's easier. All right, and then I'm gonna put the other back side here, as you can see. Right here, very simple, just slide it in. And the problem with these sliding ones is sometimes you don't get them correctly in there. Gotta make sure they're all in there or else it's gonna look sloppy. Like, see, now I see this side on the bottom left from this back plate. It's not incorrectly, so now I have to redo this one in the back. And it doesn't matter if you put this one first, doesn't really matter. They all have their individual slot, so you can put them. They don't need to be in a certain way. So let me redo this one real quick. All right, so this one went in. I think, right? Nope, it didn't go in. Okay, I think I got it that time. Alright, so I did it a different way than I normally would, so we're gonna leave it like that. Now put this back here. All done. And guys, that's it with the build. How awesome this is, guys. Very simple. And I'm done. Now put this plate up top. My ITX build PC is all done. It's not a high power PC, but it's a good range PC that I can do VR, I can do gaming on it. Light gaming, not real heavy gaming. Because remember, if I put a 3080 or 3070, I could do some heavy gaming. But right now I'm running a 1070 on this right now, so I gotta do the best I can with that. I can do VR at least, so that's the big thing. Alright, so that's it for today's video. I do appreciate all the love and support you guys show me on this channel. If you like the video I showed you today and everything I did today, go ahead and make sure you give me a big old thumbs up. Show me all the love and support you guys love to show the channel. Also, don't forget to hit that share button because sharing is caring, and we want to make sure everyone's aware of everything we talk about on this channel so they don't miss a thing just like you don't miss a thing. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, put them in the comment box down below. I'll get to you as soon as I can, when I can, as fast as I can. And if you still haven't done so to the end of the video, guys, make sure you hit the subscribe button and enable bell notifications so you get notified every time I drop great videos like this one or whenever I go live. Because trust me, guys, you never ever want to miss a thing. And that's it for today, guys. Until next time, this is Junior, aka Semi, signing out from Semi to Tech. Peace.